Cruel Summer has finally returned for season 2, with the first 2 episodes premiering Monday night, and I am so excited to talk about this new season. This season follows a new group of teenagers living in a small coastal town and focuses on the friendship between Megan, a coding nerd with ambitions of working in Silicon Valley, and student of life living in the now girl Isabella, as their lives are rocked by a leaked tape and the murder of a friend. Similar to the first season, this story takes place over the course of a year, with each episode showing the events that happened on the same day across the summer of 1999, winter of 1999, and summer of 2000. Starting in July 1999, foreign exchange student Isabella arrives to stay with Megan and her family in this weird trailer they have in their yard, and Megan wastes no time snooping through Isabella's stuff, finding a fully stamped passport and a floppy disk labeled Summer 1998, but getting caught by Isabella before she can find much else. Despite her reluctance to be welcoming to Isabella, Megan's mother convinces her to bring Isabella into town, where she meets the rest of Megan's friend group. First, Luke, Megan's best friend, and then Brett, Luke's brother, Parker, Brett's girlfriend, and Jeff, the camera guy. Remember that he has a camera. There's some attraction between Luke and Isabella, so later that night, Isabella asks Megan if it would be alright for her to hook up with Luke, and Megan assures her again that there's nothing going on between them, moments before looking very sad as she watches the two of them flirting. A couple days later at a party at Luke's house, Megan shows up after work and Isabella already has a lemonade made for her, alcohol-free, as she remembered Megan doesn't drink, but Megan still isn't swayed by the gesture. Continuing to play bartender, Isabella spills something on Megan's bag, and as she's wiping it off, she notices a baggie of pills. When she gets a moment, she mentions the discovery to Megan and assures her that she'll keep her secret. The party and our time in July 1999 ends with Luke and Isabella making out in the pool while Megan watches on, seemingly upset. But when we jump to December 1999, not only have Megan and Isabella become best friends, but Megan and Luke are together. And at a yearly Christmas party, Luke's dad makes a toast as he introduces their tradition of playing a Christmas movie, but when the movie starts, it's actually a sex tape of Luke and somehow supposedly Isabella. Everyone immediately assumes it's Isabella, and I don't know why, because spoiler alert, it's not. We find out in episode 2 that the video is actually Luke and Megan, which makes sense because they're dating. And Megan is worried that when people find out it's her in the video, she'll lose her scholarship. So Isabella convinces Megan to let everybody continue believing it's her on the tape, explaining that she's willing to take the shame and harassment because she'll only be around for a few more months. After getting Luke on board with the plan, the three of them try to figure out who's responsible for the tape. Isabella is sure it's Jeff, but Luke thinks that it's his brother Brent. When Luke confronts his brother, Brent insists that he isn't behind this specific tape, but reveals himself to be misogynistic and gross and unaware that it's actually Megan in the tape, so he's off the hook, I guess. Lying in bed with Megan, Luke is upset about people thinking he cheated on her, and she says she knows the truth and that he's the most important person to her, and casually drops a ride or die, which was her special thing with Isabella, who is conveniently listening around the corner. December 1999 wraps up with Isabella coming downstairs to tell Megan's mom, Debbie, "I have to tell you something." And I'm like, oh my god, is the mom in on it by the following summer? Because when we fast forward to the following July, Megan's mom seems plenty fine with her and Isabella. Megan is not fine though. She's doing some sketchy coding work and avoiding police, getting nervous every time she sees cop cars. After overhearing the police found a body in the water, Megan rushes to the cabin, and when she gets out of the car, an ID falls out showing Isabella's picture but a different name. I think this could just be a fake out though, like it turns out to be a fake ID for buying alcohol and nothing else, but I could be wrong. After scrubbing the cabin floor, a totally innocent thing to prioritize after hearing a body has been found, Megan heads back into town where the police finally pull the body out of the water. The first episode ends with Luke's dad identifying the body and Isabella, who has been absent in every summer 2000 scene so far, popping up next to Megan saying, "We have to get our story straight." Within a day or two, the police suspect Luke may have been murdered due to a gunshot wound in his ear, indicating that somebody could have shot at him, and a lot of benzos in his system, as if somebody drugged him to ensure he would drown. After finding out the police suspect murder, totally innocent with nothing to hide, Isabella is packing a bag and on the phone trying to book a flight to Paris ASAP. But she finds out the sheriff wants to re-interview everybody, so she can't flee the country just yet. During the interviews, we find out that Luke and Megan were happy and seen leaving together from the Y2K New Year's Eve party, but Megan and Isabella had been fighting, so Isabella left on her own. When the sheriff talks to Isabella, she maintains her original story until he brings up her past, having been to 3 schools in 3 years, not even finishing her junior year at the last school, and Isabella stands up and says she's not talking anymore until she has a lawyer. The sheriff later noting that the only kind of 17-year-old who knows to ask for a lawyer is one who's needed one before. The second episode ends in July of 2000 with Isabella taking a bottle of pills out of her cabinet, flushing them down the toilet, and calling her mom saying that she needs help, she's in trouble. So much to unpack. First question of the season, who made the tape? We've seemingly ruled out Brent. Isabella is the only one to suspect Jeff, but that doesn't mean she isn't right. But with as insistent as she is that it was Jeff, it could easily be her. If we consider the obsession angle, she could have done it to make Megan need her friendship and support, but when people thought it was Isabella on the tape, she saw the opportunity to prove her friendship to Megan and take the fall. Next question, who killed Luke? Did somebody kill Luke, or was his death accidental, but somebody felt it needed to be covered up? Isabella and Megan clearly have something to hide, but are they the only ones involved? Megan did exchange a glance with that weird bird shooting guy when Luke's body was found in the water. He obviously seems sketchy. And speaking of sketchy, what's up with Isabella? Why is she always changing schools? What is on that floppy disk? And, is Lisa actually her friend? She writes to her and panics when she loses an earring that Lisa got her. But why do I feel like Lisa isn't her friend? Or isn't even alive anymore? I think the way I view characters is skewed because I could totally see Isabella being like a teenage girl, Joe Goldberg, obsessing over a girl and befriending her and then trying to be her one and only, but causing too much trouble to stick around, so she relocates. It's probably not that, and I would prefer that it wasn't. I would really like it to be way more than that, and I have high hopes that it will be because these first 2 episodes were really good. The way the show is structured is so cool, and I can't wait to see where the season goes. Let me know any theories you have or any clues that I missed down in the comments because I'd love to know what other people are thinking. Be sure to like and subscribe. Please and thank you. Bye.